Well, thanks for sharing your garden with us. And now we're going to be talking about a very hot topic in garden world and backyards everywhere. Chickens, growing chickens and raising them in your own backyard with coops. I'm joined by Judith Haller from Funky Chicken Coop Tour. And you've had a tour in Austin of chicken coops, attracting 1,000 people.
At least.
Which speaks, I think, to the popularity of this particular topic. But everywhere I go now, I see people who are interested in growing their own food, having, fruit trees, vegetables, whatever. It makes sense that the next step is having some backyard protein.
That is correct.
Of eggs,
that is correct. And the eggs are an absolutely wonderful treat. Once you start eating fresh eggs, it's almost impossible to go back to the store-bought eggs. So having them in your backyard is an absolute convenience. It's the best convenience food, and it's certainly about as local as you can get. Yeah. And there's so many other advantages to having chickens, though.
Well, you've brought with you a part of your brood of. I understand you're very new to this. You've only been doing this for a couple of years.
That's correct.
You were going to stop at 3.
Yes, but...
You're up to 11.
Yeah, maybe a little over the 12, 13. We don't know about these younger ones either, but yes, it's
a collector. But this whole kind of backyard farming thing going on is, I think, really exciting and probably very rewarding for you in a lot of different ways. You've talked about the eggs, and we'll spend more time talking about that. But I'd like to know how you personally got started with all this. What was it that drew you to this?
Well, actually, I was looking to improve my garden, and I thought having my own supply of chicken manure would get me a lot more compost faster and get my garden growing better.
Right.
I have a lot of clay in my soil. It's very alkaline, and chicken manure is one of the best antidotes to both of those problems, and that's very common in Austin. So I got 3 chickens, and within hours of getting my first 3 baby chicks, I was just in love with them. And so, of course, I had to go out and get a few more, and that led to a few more, and now I have a flock of 12 and occasionally have some babies running around. And I'm getting a very nice collection of manure for my garden.
Of course.
And I have a wonderful compost heap in addition to all these wonderful, beautiful, delicious eggs.
Well, the ones that you brought are a colorful assortment.
They are.
And I understand that some of these are rare or actually endangered breeds.
Yes, backyard chicken keepers are taking the whole responsibility for keeping some breeds of chickens from becoming extinct.
Right.
And preserving heritage breeds is one of the motivators for a lot of people to even start keeping chickens in the first place. The blue-gray chicken over there is a blue splash Andalusian, is what they call those. They're a Mediterranean breed. They lay white eggs. And they're very cold hardy, and they do very well in the heat. And the small bird with a double comb, she has her head down right now, is a Sicilian Buttercup, and those are also an endangered breed.
Sweet-sounding name. And you've got one with a punk rock hairdo over on this side.
Yeah, that one is a buff lace Polish, gender unknown. And
he seems anxious to explore the studio right now.
Absolutely. Yes, chickens are very curious. And pretty soon that one won't be able to see because of the feathers. But they're very cute birds. They're not as good of a layer as some other breeds, but they're certainly a lot of fun to look at and very entertaining.
Well, they're all fun to look at, really. And they all have their distinct personalities as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
And some of them are very shy, and some of them are very bold and gregarious and sociable.
Right.
Some of them are very aggressive foragers, and they'll go out in the garden and eat all those bugs that you're trying to get rid of.
Right, and that's one of the advantages of having chickens that do go out during the day from their coops, is that they really will go over the garden and pick out the insects.
Absolutely. They can. I personally have not had a problem with cutworms in most of my yard since I started letting the chickens do a little bit of the cleanup.
Right.
And yes, they will dig for worms. They'll catch roaches. They'll catch moths and pill bugs, and just generally keep everything in balance for you.
Well, and we were talking about the eggs, and we have to show this little, it's almost like a bouquet.
Exactly. Aren't they beautiful?
They are beautiful. And we have a variety of different kinds here, some with kind of a bluish cast, and others this beautiful earth tones. Now, tell me, can you tell the difference between the eggs that you get from your backyard and those that you get from the grocery store?
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll notice a lot in your cooking. When you first break the egg into the pan, you'll notice that the yolk stays mounded. And it just stands right up. And you'll also notice that the whites are a little bit cloudy and very firm, and the egg doesn't spread out in the pan like a factory egg. And when you taste it, it's quite a bit more rich. And of course, the yolks from a backyard chicken are generally going to be more golden or yellow because the chickens have access to the outdoors, a wider variety in their diet, more corn, more beta-carotene, more vitamin A.
Right.
And so you get a different profile nutritionally with a backyard egg, and of course they're so much fresher. They're absolutely delicious.
Yeah, well, the key word that you said to me there was factory, and that's the conditions that so many of the poultry and other farm animals that we use for protein, they live in factory conditions. And so if you can spare a few animals that horror, really.
Yes.
And have that source close to home, and also have the fun of what I'm seeing right here, which looks like a lot of fun. Now, what are the rules if you're going to do this in the city? I know there are rules about this.
You're absolutely right.
So what are the rules? Say if somebody wanted to have a small coop in their backyard, what is allowed?
Well, in the city of Austin, we're allowed to have a coop that has to be at least 50 feet away from our neighbor's residence.
Okay.
That means there has to be 50 feet of space between the corner of their house, not necessarily a property line. And they also ask you to cage your chickens, which is for their own safety and for practicality. But there is no real limit on the number of birds you can have. It's just a practical limitation more than anything. So we're very lucky in Austin. I would caution people to check with their homeowners association because there may be some additional rules. And if you're outside the city, like in Leander or Round Rock or so forth, you might want to check with your local government to find out what the rules are, because there are some variations from one locality to another.
Now, cooping the chickens or having a secured place for them to sleep, I know is essential.
Yes.
Because predators for like raccoons or things like that could easily destroy your population. But do you let yours? It sounds like you let yours out during the day.
On a limited basis. Now, in my neighborhood, I have to be careful that dogs might get into the backyard, as well as hawks. So the best thing to do is to keep your chickens confined or in a place where they're safe. And housing, if you get the housing right, chickens are very, very easy to keep. So you can have something like a small cage or something that's big enough to walk into. You can have stationary coops that are just a structure that you build in the backyard. Or you can have a movable cage where you can move the chickens around the yard and let them fertilize the grass in different places. And it depends on your situation, but there's quite a number of ways to do it. And you can get very simple with, a few pieces of plywood, or you can get very elaborate.
I could see people getting pretty elaborate. I could already see, I'm envisioning
architectural
chicken
challenges,
palaces.
exactly, yes.
And you're going to have another tour in April.
We are.
And let's talk a little bit about that, because I know that there are probably a lot of people out there who would love to see how folks are dealing with this.
Exactly.
And maybe see some of those chicken palaces.
Yes, the best way to get started with chickens is to come to the tour.
It's going to be happening in April.
It's on April 3rd. It's going to be the Saturday before Easter, and it's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's 6 hours there. And it's free, so everybody can come. No excuses to stay home. Bring your out-of-town guests and everything.
So it works like other garden tours. There'll be a map.
We'll put a map on our website, and all you have to do is show up wherever you want to visit and stay as long as you like and move on to the next one. But the tour is the best way in the world to get started, because you have an opportunity to see the different materials people use, the different arrangements. You have an opportunity to see a lot of different birds and to talk to people who are taking care of birds, how to feed them, how to take care of them, how to protect your garden, how to you know, how many chickens you need to get the number of eggs you want. All these things. A tour is a perfect place to get all those answers, and we invite everybody to come.
Well, I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and one of the great things about any kind of tour is that you do get to visit with the enthusiasts.
Yes.
So if you want to learn the particulars about the diet and how to keep them healthy and all that kind of stuff, it's all right there. But the thing that it really excites me about this is that I hope that there are a lot of families who are doing this, because I think this would be wonderful for the children.
It is, and children very often have never even seen a chicken until they come on the chicken coop tour. This is their first
come
experience.
From the store, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So it's wonderful for kids to be able to see them in a natural environment and see the different colored eggs. It's very exciting for
them. And where can people learn about the tour and get more information if they want to?
Well, we have a website, and it's austincooptour.org.
Okay.
Or you can just Google Austin Chicken Coop Tour or something like that, and we should pop right up on the top if we're doing everything right, and we'll have all the information.
Great. Well, again, Judith, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for bringing the girls down.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
And coming up next, it's Down to Earth with our friend Daphne.